welcome to TMZ Live. There is a huge mystery that continues to evolve over Mitch McConnell and exactly what has gone on with him. What is his current state? But that picture, a lot of people are saying there's something off with it. And I think we should start with Kara Swisher, who knows her stuff when it comes to technology, and Scott Galloway on their podcast. They expressed real doubt over the authenticity of what you were looking at.
You do start to believe it. I looked at that picture and I was like, that looks funny. He looks like he had a facelift. They're right. Like, but then is it true? Is it not true?
I'm going to be clear. I'm part of the tinfoil. I think it's fake.
Okay. I don't know. I definitely am like, sus. You know, I literally was like, texted Harvey Levin and said, the Republic is up to you to get in that that hospital room and get us a real video of something.
If he just recorded, not even a video, a 10-second voice memo.
It's gone too far. He's got to be wheeled out in front of it.
It would solve so many of his and the Republican Party's problems. And he clearly can't even do that.
Right. I would agree with you. I think if they wheeled him out in front of or in the hospital and he said, I'm really sick and I'm trying to get better, and that would solve it. But they won't do it. You're right, because they can't do it.
So challenge accepted, Kara.
No, the challenge is not accepted.
No.
We're not storming into the hospital.
We're not storming into the hospital, but
we are at the hospital.
Our DC people, Jacob and Charlie. Jacob has gone to McConnell's home. Charlie went to the hospital because it looks like the hospital is the place where he's also getting rehab.
Right.
So he may not have left.
Remember, what he did say is that he's getting rehab for a fall that happened a month ago.
Charlie, so you went to the hospital. What'd you see?
Yeah, so I went to the hospital on a tip that walking frame was delivered by Secret Service to someone in the hospital. And so that sounded could be McConnell. So I went along there, and sure enough, there were loads of Secret Service. There were loads of Department of Homeland Security and also Capitol Police. So I'm thinking maybe we're on here, although I didn't think that McConnell had Secret Service protection, but you never know. And then some guy who I don't even... I'm on TMZ Live. Sorry. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. You want to go give an autograph or something?
Right. At least that person didn't say, shut the blank up.
Yeah, true.
A better treatment to Jacob.
It's like I walk into a cafeteria and...
Why don't you start there?
Oh, my gosh. Mean people. Mean people.
Yeah, so you went there.
And what happened?
So I went, and so then... Some guy was wheeled out. Yeah. Some guy was wheeled out on a wheelchair, and he had bandages all around his legs. And the walker that I had come to find out who that walker belonged to is in the shot too. So I was figuring out who it could have been, and then it was this guy.
He's in handcuffs.
Yeah, whoever that person is, they're in handcuffs. I don't think they have anything to do with McConnell.
But it's something because Secret Service are wheeling him. So you got no... look, Kara Swisher is saying the picture is suspect. So, and she wants you guys, to... look, I'm just going to tell him. I called both of you guys and I said, go to McConnell's office and just ask somebody there, look, let us get on the phone with him for 10 seconds just to know what the state is. You guys are doing that today, right?
Yeah, we're doing that. People are quite reluctant to, talk about their boss leaving the office. And I honestly think they don't know. I honestly think
you don't think the staff knows.
You don't think the staff? You think the staffers are being kept in the dark as well?
I think so. I think just about everybody's in the dark. Obviously,
why are you saying that? What are you basing that on? Obviously, you've had conversations with people in his office. Why do you say that?
Well, McConnell has always been almost like this, a mafia boss, sort of his staff are his kids. And everything that goes about McConnell is a very closely guarded secret. And yeah, everyone's being so tight-lipped and everyone's saying, we don't know, we don't know. I'm just inclined to believe them on this one. I think it would have got out. It would have leaked. Me and Jacob, God knows, would have found out if anyone could.
So you did try to speak to the staff today?
Oh, we've tried to speak to a lot of people. Yes.
Okay, and so you guys, you think he's in that hospital still in a rehab unit?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a, I think it was wrongly worded because the rehab center is inside the same hospital as, you know, he was staying. It's not like he moved to a different location. He's still in that location. And and the big indication of that is those 2 SUVs that are kind of his protection, and they need to be where he is at all times. They're still there outside the hospital with drivers in them.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, one other thing. Charlie, it's the first, how long have I known you?
13 years.
It's the first time you've been totally color coordinated.
I know, I don't like it really, is it?
Yeah, it actually does. It's a little off-putting.
It is.
I know.
I feel
You're
like
looking way too put together,
There you
man.
go. There you
I need
go.
to take one of them off. Should it be the hat or the shirt?
I think that's good.
That's fine.
That's good.
That's a good idea.
That's good, Charlie.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Charlie. Well, The View host Sunny Hostin is going back to her old career, at least temporarily.
Flexing her legal muscles.
Exactly. Of course, she is a lawyer, a former federal prosecutor, indeed. This is not a federal case she's working. It is a very personal one, though, for her son, who was cited for trespassing.
So he is an athlete, Harvard grad, I might add, as you can see.
Yeah.
And he was training in an area where there was this gravel incline.
This is in Westchester County.
And he was trying to, he was training, so he thought, oh, I can go on this gravel incline. This will be great for me. There was an open gate, and so he went to run on that incline. Turns out that open gate had a no trespass sign. There was a cop nearby. Cop saw him. Cop stopped him. Cop was ticketing him. The ticket is an actual crime. It's a minor crime, but it's a crime. And he's like, dude, I didn't see the sign. There was no malicious intent here. And so
this is Sunny's version of what happened.
Right.
Because she is now on the case.
Well,
he didn't convince the cop, and so
he calls his mom, and Sunny comes and interacts with the cop. I think it didn't go well because the cop ended up having to call a supervisor, which you normally wouldn't do for a minor thing.
A trespassing ticket.
So something
the fact
happened.
that a supervisor was called means that there must have been some conflict between Sunny and the officer, verbal.
So Sunny, the kid gets cited, and Sunny writes this really eloquent, forceful letter explaining how her son is, you know, a model citizen and never had any criminal intent.
Well, there's one other thing she mentions very prominently.
She mentions that he's a Harvard grad.
He's a Harvard grad.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Why mention that he's a Harvard grad?
Because he's not a ne'er-do-well. He's not a ne'er-do-well. He's a college graduate.
He's a college graduate.
He is a college graduate. He happened to go to Harvard.
Because Harvard shows he excelled. That he's an excellent student, clean record. Why sully it?
That does make it seem like he's not just a college graduate. He's a Harvard graduate, and so therefore,
not only that,
cut him a break.
I'm not sure this doesn't backfire with a DA who gets. Well,
maybe.
Yeah. Okay. There's a reason she put it in there.
When you can drop the
H, it doesn't bother me.
When you can drop the
H. This guy drops the H every.
When you drop the H-bomb, you always want to drop the H-bomb. But in any event, I'm not sure it works. Do you think this is sort of an effective tactic with the DA? Because it looks like you're saying he's a Harvard kid, give him some sort of special treatment. It may backfire because the prosecutor may say, look, they have to follow the rules just like everyone else. Unblemished or not, this is a tough lesson to learn.
It might be. I mean, it might be that the DA's hackles are up now saying, wait a minute.
I got to dig in my heels.
She might have done something at the scene to kind of cause a conflict because the supervisor shows, now we get this letter, we're going to look weak if we dismiss it.
And because the letter has now been publicized.
And I want to be clear, it
does put pressure on the DA.
But the question is, does it put pressure on him to drop it or to pursue it?
I mean, let's be honest.
I'm not sure which way it cuts. It's such a minor offense that I do think it may just be dropped. She's laid out what happened. The supervisor was called.
The deal is, Harvard or
not
no
a big deal.
This is not a big deal. Why is this I mean, I agree with Sunny in that,
sense. Why'd they cite the kid?
The one thing I want to be
the kid's going to leave.
Give him a warning.
The reason they cited him, they wanted to deter other people from trespassing.
But how are you
This was near a train tracks. It's a very dangerous area to run up gravel.
Say to the kid, hey, you shouldn't be here. There's a no trespassing sign.
How are you deterring?
Well, they're saying we're going to now close the gate. We're going to issue this citation so that.
Fine, close the gate and that's fine. But it's not like the world is going to know if you just give the kid a warning. That's not a deterrence.
Well, I think they wanted everyone around who saw this issue.
Well, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Hi, this is Michaela out in Maryland. I think this is just silly all around. Like, you've really brought a bazooka to what seems to be a plastic knife fight. The cops were clearly having a very slow day, and they wrote the kid a citation. And now you've got a former federal prosecutor, like, jumping into action over it, over what seems to be the equivalent of what, like, a speeding ticket. It seems like everyone just has too much time on their hands, but he's a Harvard grad, so I'm sure he'll figure it out.
And if he doesn't, Mom will.
Coming up.
$77 million. That's what is on the line in this lawsuit that has been filed against Tyler Perry, a man named Mario Rodriguez. There are some things that Mario is intimating about Tyler Perry and his sexual orientation, and assuming that Tyler Perry is ashamed of his sexual orientation. And Tyler has filed documents saying that's just not the case.
Be right back.
$77 million. That's what is on the line in this lawsuit that has been filed against Tyler Perry. A man named Mario Rodriguez claims that Tyler Perry sexually assaulted him. Now, we've done that story. What is new here is that Tyler Perry is saying Mario wants to reach a settlement and basically said, I will walk away from this if you give me several $1 million. And Tyler Perry says, I'm not having it. I'm not settling with this guy, and I am willing to go forward and sit for a deposition.
And go to trial.
And you know, I would presume go to trial as well, because he doesn't want to settle. And he says that there are some things that Mario is sort of intimating about Tyler Perry and his sexual orientation, and assuming that Tyler Perry is ashamed of his sexual orientation. And Tyler has filed documents saying that's just not the case, and I'll sit for your deposition. But he does have some.
So Tyler's basically saying, I'm not ashamed of my sexual orientation, but the answer to that question is irrelevant to the case at hand. He's saying that if I say that I'm gay, there is prejudice potentially. And if I say I'm not gay, then any male friends that I've ever had, you're gonna go down and you're gonna try to question them and bring them in and try to make it a big deal in the case.
So he's asking the judge, he's saying it's irrelevant to this case.
Yes.
And wants the judge to
he's basically saying we should just
sign off on that before he sits for the deposition.
Correct, yes. And
the other thing that he said was that he thinks that Mario is saying
if you
are gay, that means you have
you're more likely to sexually assault another man, which he says is a stereotype.
Stereotype.
Right. It's interesting that I think the way Tyler Perry is saying this is that this guy's kind of the nuclear weapon is sexuality.
Right.
And that, at least that's what Tyler Perry is saying, is that you're trying to essentially blackmail me over my sexuality.
Yeah. Right. And he's saying that he only filed these documents making these claims
to
pressure him into the settlement.
Right.
Which Tyler says he's not going to do.
Not going to happen.
But yet, Tyler is also saying, look, I'm not going to discuss my sexuality because I don't think it's relevant to the case.
Correct.
Well, that's what he wants the judge to sign off on before he sits for the depo. We'll see what the judge says.
Well,
but either way, you're right. Tyler is saying he believes it is irrelevant.
And either way, if the judge says, no, you got to do it, then that guy loses his leverage anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Hi, I'm Ginger Mitchell, and I'm based in Los Angeles, California. So what I think about this is that I think that, obviously, I just want to point out that sexual assault accusations, even coming from a man, are things that are, still worthy of paying attention to. It still happens. But in that same breath, I do think that using Tyler Perry's sexual orientation as any type of piece of evidence of whether this occurred or didn't occur isn't necessarily a good piece of evidence. I don't think Tyler Perry's sexual orientation can be, if he's gay, then this happened. And that's kind of seemingly how it's being presented. And that doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to Tyler Perry either. So we'll see what the judge says. Well, should have seen this one coming. Britney Cartwright has moved on from her publicist. Now, why would she have done that? That's right. Because said publicist, Lori Krebs, is apparently, based on some vacation photos, now in a relationship with Jax.
Okay, so?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I do think Lori, who is Jax's publicist, was also Britney's publicist.
She was both.
That gets a little awkward once you see that, Britney, once you see that Lori is now dating your ex.
No, but here's my question. So maybe Britney and Jax had a bad breakup, but if they can say, look, I'm not going to talk about you, and you don't talk about me.
Right.
And we can keep the same publicist that we like, even though I'm
No, you're asking, that's too much to ask of Britney. And by the way, it would be too much to ask of Jax if the shoe were on the other foot. If the publicists were dating.
Well, a lot of people think that would be hot.
Maybe it's a male publicist. I don't know. I'm not trying, but whatever. You get my point. This just seems like what should happen in a natural course.
So we get these photos yesterday. We do these photos yesterday that we just showed, right? And now we
that
find
was
out
in
that
Puerto Vallarta.
Right. So after we do that, she fires.
Britney fires Lori.
Lori called Britney and said, hey, I got a call from TMZ. They're running these photos. I'm going to give you a heads up on their report.
So wait a minute. So Britney had no idea?
No, we're now talking to people that are telling us that there has been some speculation within that friend group for the last couple of years that there might have been something romantic going on between them, romantic, sexual in nature. But now we've obtained another photo from May of Lori and Jax in Boca Raton at a bar.
So Britney had no idea?
Could be, look, that could be a business.
Right.
There was a period where there were rumors going around that there was something going on between them. Lori allegedly convinced Britney that there wasn't. So because Britney and Lori have worked together for over 10 years, she was taking her word.
Weren't they once in Hawaii where there was a thing with sunglasses?
Sunglasses?
Yeah, do you remember that?
Was that Jax?
I think that was Jax.
It was Jax?
It was
That was
Jax.
like, what, 10 years ago?
Steel trap, everybody.
Maybe even more.
Stole sunglasses.
Right.
Right.
Went to jail.
Yeah.
I don't know that Lori had any, I don't know if she was on the job at the point, but.
Prevagen.
Hi, I'm Monica from Australia. I don't think anyone's surprised with Jax Taylor's behaviour. I think the biggest issue is that Britney's publicist has crossed a boundary, and it's kind of like a nanny sleeping with the husband. Like there's an expectation of trust and loyalty.
Hold on.
If the husband and wife have broken up.
Yeah, what if they broke up?
And then the nanny ends up sleeping with the
But
husband.
the publicist knows all the personal details.
That's true.
So it's like there's that kind of level of trust where you don't kind of sleep with your friend's ex. And it's if you know that much personal stuff about your client, you wouldn't cross that boundary.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay. Sold.
Coming up. Well, John Travolta's got a new movie coming out this month. It's a crime thriller called The Gentleman Thief. And he's got a whole crew. And included on John Travolta's crew is Sam Asghari. He is joining us now to talk about this film and his acting career in general.
Be right back. TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Donnell Rawlings took TMZ DC on a city tour.
You know what the irony of this is? A black man takes a white person to the White House.
It's TMZ.
Well, John Travolta's got a new movie coming out this month. It's a crime thriller called The Gentleman Thief. And he's got a whole crew, as a good thief does. And included on John Travolta's crew is a face that we've all gotten very familiar with over the years, Sam Asghari, whose acting career is really taking off. We've seen him get roles here and there, and he's committed to this. And this is a big one for him. And the camera just loves that guy. It's really unfair.
It's unfair.
It's really
so
unfair. But he's joining us now to talk about this film and his acting career in general. Sam, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I got to get something off my chest, first of all, that I'm really happy for you, but
here comes
you were on Hacks.
Yeah.
And Charles and I did a scene for Hacks. We were supposed to be the opening of this season.
Hold on. We did 2 scenes.
2 scenes?
Yeah.
And we were cut, and you weren't. So I'm kind of bitter, and I just want you to know.
But maybe we need advice. We need some acting advice, clearly.
Yeah, the Hacks is, what an incredible show that was, and they won everything, all the Emmys in the world. And
they would have won more with us.
Exactly.
No. I think they made a good decision to keep you guys out. I think that was a great decision.
All right, well, we're done here. This is over.
What the hell?
Listen, there's too much going on with Hacks. They have too many awards to risk that and
to risk that. Wow. All right, well, tell us about The Gentleman Thief and all the awards that you hope to win in the future.
That was a great movie. It's a great movie. It's just I'm out of words for being alongside John Travolta. Obviously, I spoke to John. The first thing I told him, I said, Mr. Travolta, when I first came into America, there was a movie that you did with Denzel Washington where you were playing the guy that steals the train, and Denzel plays the police officer. And I watched that so many times to learn English, because when action films, you don't have to speak the language. You sort of look at it and it's through action. So it's easier for people that don't speak English and that are trying to learn the language to be able to digest it. So it was an interesting moment, and it was a full circle moment to come back to this. And he loved it. He absolutely loved it.
I got to say, Sam, we have interviewed a lot of people who want to be actors, and they don't put in the work. And one of the things that I've seen with you over the years now is you are really dedicated to this. A lot of people were saying, oh, when the marriage ended with Britney, Sam's just going to go away. You just plugged away. You're taking this really seriously.
Yeah, I don't think Sam is going anywhere, to be honest with you. Before this public, relationship and all that, my mind was into acting, and I was in high school and college. I was in theater and arts, and I wanted to act, and I did that, and I started acting, and they caught me early. So you guys, TMZ, caught me early, and the pop culture sort of. Community pop me, you caught me early, but I've been doing this, and I always wanted to do it. And the past year was the most pivotal moment where I really found myself as, why do I want to be an actor? Why do I want to be an artist? And that's when, whatever was happening in Iran and all the injustice and all the cruelty that's happening with the government there, and I have an opportunity to be in this country, and I'm a male, I'm a younger. And we don't have that category. We never had someone on the mainstream as far as a male, and this, to be able to inspire others, to be able to tell stories, to be able to, shed light on people that don't really have, words or can't speak. And I'm happy to do that. And it's a responsibility.
When you work with someone like with the experience that John Travolta has, do you, as an up-and-coming actor, do you wait in between takes? Do you ask him for advice, or do you just watch the things that he does and you pick it up that way? I always wonder whether it's something that is it frowned upon to actually ask for the advice, or do they actually welcome those questions?
I mean, when somebody's an icon, he's an icon, and everything he does is so iconic. There's a reason why people are successful. As you guys know, you watch everybody's career, is that they do everything the way it's supposed to be done. So I watched every single thing that they do, showing up early, being nice to people, making sure, you say hi to everybody, making sure you're staying. I mean, there was a scene when me and Lucas and Mr. Travolta were out in the ocean in Miami. It was actually that scene right there, as you see, that we were supposed to jump in the water. There was an explosion on the boat that's happening. And, he's out there. He's out there. He doesn't need to be out there. We got stunned for that. But he wants to make sure the movie is right. And that's what I respect. And that's what I absolutely adore. And I'm really good with, watching people and getting and picking it up and being able to do that. But I also have confidence on my own to be able to deliver something that I have personally, unique-wise.
So finally, I was really struck. There was a demonstration with a lot of Iranian expatriates about what was going on in Iran. I never really thought of you as a political guy, but it feels like you are kind of dabbling in it because of what's going on.
I mean, you got no choice when it comes to that. It's, I'm not politically obsessed, but I'm politically aware, and it's no longer politics. It's humanity, and this is a humanitarian stance that I take. I mean, everybody's really taking that. Who wants to see innocent people getting hurt by their own governments and women rights and men rights? Like everybody, there's no human rights in Iran, and and I'm here, and I'm lucky to be here. And it's equivalent to winning the lottery. And I have a platform, and that is from now on, that is my responsibility to be able to be aware and be able to spread awareness as far as I can.
All right. Well, looking forward to seeing you in this movie on demand July 28th, and then in theaters, limited release July 31st. Congratulations, Sam.
Yeah, congrats, Sam.
Great to see your career taking off, man.
Thank you so much, and I hope your guys' acting career takes off. So
we're in the dumpster.
Yeah,
we are in the dumpster.
Put in a word with Travolta, or or someone would, please.
I will.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you so much.
Coming up. The mystery surrounding Nolan Wells' death continues. A lot of the people in Nolan's life, of course, still grieving his loss. One of them is joining us now, someone who was close with Nolan because he coached him in high school football. Tracy Lampley, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. The mystery surrounding Nolan Wells' death continues because his family has not gotten the answers that they are demanding, that they deserve, quite frankly. And the autopsy results are not back yet. So they are still just looking for any answers. And the sheriff has come out and said that he would love for anyone who was on Horn Island that day to come forward on July 4th and to let them know what they saw. The problem they have is that Horn Island is there's nothing there. There are no buildings. It's a sandbar, basically. And there are no cameras. There's nothing there that would record anything that happened. So the authorities need people to come forward and tell them what they saw. A lot of the people in Nolan's life, of course, still grieving his loss. And some of them very much involved in the search and in the support of his family after this tragic death. So one of them is joining us now, someone who was close with Nolan because he coached him in high school football. Tracy Lampley, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. Appreciate you being here.
So Tracy, my understanding is you were close to the family and you actually, helped in the search for Nolan before his body was found. Can you give us a sense of what his parents think happened here? Do they believe this was just an unfortunate accident, tragedy, or that it's something more sinister?
Well, just to correct you a little bit, I didn't actually help for the search, but I was in Ocean Springs when it happened, and I was still in disbelief when I got the news that Nolan was missing. So when I got all the details surrounding the case, that they told me he was out at Horn Island, and he came up missing or whatnot. I talked with his dad, and we just had conversation. That was kind of after the fact when they had found his body, because I was just giving the family their respect that they deserve, and when everything first took place. But I was sharing all the detail that the family was sharing, just putting the word out there, and just so everybody could be on notice and everybody be paying attention to what the parents was asking of the community. But I gave the family their space. But then when they found their body, I pulled up to the house and just paid my respect. And me and the dad had conversations, and we talked, and man, it's just devastating.
When you say you talked to the dad, did he kind of accept this as an accident and a tragedy, or was he more suspicious?
Well, no, he was more so just searching for answers right now, because it had just happened, and there was a lot of questions still unanswered. You know what I mean? And like the family just want to answer, want to know what happened, and what was going on, because the questions that they've been asking have not, truly been answered. And so we all now just sitting back and waiting on the autopsy to come back and waiting on the family to give more details about, what they have received moving forward.
Tracy, can you tell us, just talk to us about Nolan? Obviously, he's a high school football star, and usually high school football stars have a pretty close relationship with their coaches. What can you tell us about just Nolan as a human being, and what you saw from him and how he interacted with other people in school, with his friends?
Yes, Nolan was a great young man, with a big personality. Everybody gravitated to Nolan because of his smile. He just wanted everybody to be happy, and he was a joy to coach, a joy to be around. To sum Nolan up, long story short, Nolan is a guy that I would let date my daughter. That's the kind of character he had, and that's the kind of person that his family raised.
So, getting to the last time he was seen on the island, I think just your point of view on his personality is interesting. I mean, there were rumblings that he may have gotten into an argument, that there might have been a confrontation or something like that. I mean, was he a guy who would stand up, where, his hackles would go up, or was he more of a get-along type guy?
He's more of a get-along type guy. Don't get me wrong. Now, if something happened, he'll defend himself. But I knew right then in that video that wasn't Nolan. But out of respect, the person that I knew who it was, I waited until he spoke about it. And then, I told people, oh, yes, that's who that was in the video, was another person, another kid that I, taught at Ocean Springs. And I knew exactly that wasn't Nolan during that time.
So, there's been some talk about, one of the theories is that that he was drinking and that there was a riptide that day and that maybe he got caught in a bad current out there. Knowing him as an athlete, and we've heard that he did know how to swim, would that surprise you if he ended up in that situation, just from what you know about him as an athlete?
Yes, I mean, it would surprise me, that happened, but like I said, man, I'm just waiting till the family, give out, details of what they done gathered, since, his body been recovered. I don't want to, put no information out there and speculate and add more fuel to the fire. So I'm just really sitting back, waiting on the family to give, the public, more facts about the case, because as sensitive as the case is, I don't want to start no rumors or have nobody saying that coach said this and that ain't true. So now I'm just sitting back, waiting on the family to give the public, details about it, and I think in due time that information would come out.
And finally, look, there's a reality to life these days. Was there racial tension at the school? I mean, you were certainly able to observe, and it's something people are talking about, whether it's a factor at all or not. Was there racial tension at the school?
No, I don't think it was no racial intention at the school, from my experience, because you have, predominant white school, you have black kids there, and they all, played and grew up together and got along. Now, some stuff might have happened that I didn't see, so, I can't speak wholeheartedly on it, but from what I did see, it was a tight-knit community, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Well, Tracy, we really appreciate you sharing what you know about Nolan and the kind of young man he was. We thank you for being with us.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Coming up. If you're going to play a little golf at the Trump National Course in D.C.
Well, Taco Bell's not the only place you get diarrhea.
Potentially, you might run into a bout of diarrhea.
Be right back.
If you're going to play a little golf at the Trump National Course in D.C.
Well, Taco Bell's not the only place you get diarrhea.
Potentially, you might run into a bout of diarrhea if what the Loudoun County Health Department says is true. So obviously, the health department goes around and they do inspections at restaurants. They went to Trump National, and they did not like what they found in the kitchen area, in the food preparation area. Not only in the kitchen, because some of it was in an outdoor area where they have a pizza oven, but they also had a bug strip, one of those light strips that captures insects, like above where the food is served. That's what they say in this report, and why would you ever do that? There were other issues with the temperature that food was stored at.
But they found insects.
They also found some insects, some flies, they said, in a storage closet that they could not understand why the storage closet was right next to the restrooms.
Which disgusting. You have this large group of tiny flies near the restroom. Yuck.
Yeah.
But so they were cited for just a ton of issues and health violations. So you guys mentioned the food stored at temperatures above the county health code specifically affected blue cheese, sausage patties, sausage links, and pasta.
The
was
sausage
also,
and the blue cheese, no.
Yeah, there was also issues with raw steak and fish. So like all the major things, all the major things that you would be eating at somewhere like this. By the way, this was the Virginia property that all of this went down at. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody wanting to go there and eat there now, knowing what you know.
I mean, the golf might be great.
So Trump thinks this is politically motivated.
The club did say that they denied all of this, and they did certainly in their response say they feel like this is a hit job.
Something else with Trump today. There's been a lot of speculation about Lindsey Graham that, he was really big on trying to impose sanctions on Russia.
He had just come back from Ukraine the day before he died.
And the FBI went through his house yesterday, and they just want to make sure there was no foul play. The Russians are not above that, and they have done that to other people around the world.
Right, so the FBI was on the case, and Kash Patel said that they're going to investigate, but then the president came out and said, they're wasting their time.
I also ask, are you aware of why the FBI is looking into Senator Graham's death? Have you gotten any updates on why they were at his home?
Well, I don't know why, because I think, he had a problem. His father had a very similar problem. What happened is actually something that's very hard to detect. It was not related to any blockage. It was a totally different thing. I know there's all sorts of conspiracy theories going along, and I don't think the FBI, I think the FBI is wasting their time if they're doing that.
That is a really odd thing to say, that you would think that Kash Patel is pretty much jumping to whatever Donald Trump wants to do.
Right.
And the fact that they went and did this search, and Donald Trump is saying they're wasting their time, find interesting, if not odd.
I'm June. I'm a microbiologist with a master's from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, specialty in infectious disease.
So we want your take on this about the way the kitchen there and the restaurant was exposed to unhealthy things.
Yeah, well, it's been someone's job to go around and check and make sure that food is stored at the proper temperature, that things are clean and hygienic. And a lot of those positions have recently been affected by the removal of the head of the CDC and other governing bodies. So it's a bit ironic that he's getting hit with an issue that could have been prevented by, keeping really everyone employed there and the NIH as well.
That's a really interesting point. That is a really, really interesting point.
By the way, we should say for the club that someone in charge did remove the pesticides that were near food when the health department pointed that out. So, good job.
Coming up.
Ariana Grande is going to have to make some changes to one of her biggest hits. Actually, she is already making changes to her song Thank You Next, because one of the guys who was in her past is now back.
Be right back.
Ariana Grande is going to have to make some changes to one of her biggest hits. Actually, she is already making changes to her song Thank You Next, because one of the guys who was in her past is now back.
So now the song is called Thank You Rewind, right?
Thank You. That thankfully is not the rewrite she did. She's a bit more talented than you when it comes to music. But yes, she and Ricky are back together very clearly. We've seen them out and about, and now she, yes, is changing her lyrics when she performs that song. See, there it is, confirmation. We always find our way back.
So she is a young version of Jennifer Lopez, period. Right down to this guy is the Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
He's the Ben Affleck.
They did the whole decade apart and then circled back around. And she doesn't like to stay single at all. Ariana is like a serial relationship girl.
Lopez. That part is definitely the same.
But you know what? Ricky's hot, so that's fine that if she's gonna go back to him.
This is Dami, and I'm calling in from Calgary, Canada. And I think if there was any of Ariana Grande's exes that people thought she would circle back to, it would definitely have been Sean or Pete. So it is interesting that it's Ricky, but given they've always had a good relationship, maybe it'll be a good thing for her.
It could be Dalton Gomez.
Does that song bug him, do you think? Does Ricky be like...
I was going to say the same thing, because she literally, in the original song, she said, wrote some songs about Ricky, now I listen and laugh. Like, I'm laughing at him, like...
Damn.
Yeah.
What else you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name is Ariel, New Orleans, Louisiana. I want to talk about Lindsey Graham and the fact that before he had two chances. He had two chances to contact someone about the issues that he was having with his heart. And he just negated both of those times. The first time he called, they said, you should go seek emergency attention. The second time, he called his scheduler instead of actually calling 911.
But the scheduler did call 911.
Yeah.
Right, but that's an important, this is here. You got to call 911 first. The internet can wait, but your aorta can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he didn't necessarily know.
Right, but you also know what he's thinking is he doesn't want to be the one on the phone for the 911 call. So
you're probably right. No, you're
absolutely
absolutely right. That's actually a very good point.
Coming up. If you suddenly got, let's say, a $1 million deal for whatever it is you want to do, would you show up at your job that you're working today? There's a guy at the Waffle House.
If that opportunity presents itself and they let me work while I done signed a deal, I promise I'll do it, no problem.
Pants on fire.
Be right back.
If you suddenly got, let's say, a $1 million deal for whatever it is you want to do, would you show up at your job that you're working today? There's a guy at the Waffle House who has been working at the Waffle House for a long time, but is now suddenly getting a lot of success as a rapper, thanks to a rap that he made up about the Waffle House that is now going viral. His name is Rockstar Riley. I don't know if that's a stage name, I'm guessing.
It might be Riley.
But we talked to him about this song getting so much attention, and I was really surprised when he said this.
Honestly, I'm so much of a real life regular guy. Let's say a label came with a deal. They said $1 million. This is everything I wanted. $1 million contract. Okay, cool, sign it. I might tell the Waffle House, hey, y'all, I might only be able to work 1 day a week. You know, just because I actually could say I love the job.
Pants on fire. Pants on fire. He's not going to work the Waffle House.
I mean, 1 day a month?
He's not going to do it.
I like how it went down from I'll do it 1 week. All right, maybe 1 day a month.
Not going to do it. We'll see you tomorrow.